Hi everybody, it's March 27th, 2026. um, I guess a lot of us feel like a lot of people talk about existential crisis, and I guess that means like they don't understand the story of their life. That's what I get from the gist of that concept. They believe that there has to be a certain reason why things are the way they are and why there are some important unanswered questions. And it kind of gives you anxiety, kind of gives you a kind of subtle kind of dread. But what I learned about that kind of worry is that if you worry long enough without any answers, it kind of fades away and you just start living again. And those questions can't be answered in a way that will bring us relief because we can't understand the story of our lives and the questions that aren't being answered by those of us who we think have the answers. And even the ones that we think have the answers, they don't know the complete story. So this just comes to the point where you have to surrender to God. That is part of the reason that it is said to surrender to God if you want peace, because there are some things that you can't surmount on your own. You need the Creator. You need the clock keeper to relieve your anxiety about the questions of life that you can't answer. And that's one of the many benefits of relying on God. Everything that you can't do, everything that you can't know is there with your relationship with God. So this gets me to thinking about the concept of air. I noticed when I was younger, when I felt a lot of air inside of me, like I guess you could say a lot of space, that would kind of create anxiety, or it felt like I was empty. Like I would try to feel love, but there was nobody there to love me, so there was more space. I tried to feel confidence and self-esteem, but I couldn't bring that up, so there was more space. And all this space and emptiness seemed to be increasing inside of me. That kind of created anxiety. It kind of dragged me down. It kind of kneecapped me whenever I tried to accomplish something. So when people say you need space inside, that's the truth, but you have to understand that space. The reason why the space was giving me anxiety was because it was a natural reaction to realizing that anxiety was trying to tell me that it's time to work on the space that you have inside. It's time to use that space to create and to heal and to build and to come to understanding of myself. So that space, if you feel empty inside, if you feel that there's a vast void inside of you and it's giving you anxiety, that just means it's time to start to use that space and try to put institutions inside of yourself of creation and kind of seeking out. And you will find the answers, and the answers that you really need will be found when you align with what you know about life, what you know that what you are pretty sure what you think you're supposed to do. Another thing I could say about air is the air in conversation. A lot of us get anxiety when we have been talking for a while with somebody and it goes silent and there's not much more to say. And so that space, that air in the conversation kind of creates doubt sometimes. It kind of creates kind of worry, kind of anxious energy. And I noticed that if you could turn that around, if you could turn that silence, that air, that space into comfort, into reassurance, into intimacy, not necessarily romantic intimacy, but like an intimacy with another person, creating a trust even through the silence, even through the space, you come to a deeper understanding of relationships with people. There doesn't always need to be content or concrete concepts between the two of you to feel a connection, or to feel trusted, and to feel in good company. And the last thing I can say about air in space is that as you get older, I know you've heard this, people saying that they walk into a room and they forget why they're there. They want to say something, but they forgot totally what they wanted to say. You know, that happens when you get older. That kind of space is not to create anxiety. I've learned to get around that by just letting things be, letting it go. And sometimes, miraculously, the thought or the memory will come back, and kind of promptly once you just let it go. So it's not about giving in to aging. It's not about letting go. It's just about kind of controlling your anxiety and not letting it derail you. Forgetting and losing memory and being distracted and just losing your train of thought is not necessarily a bad sign. It's a sign that control is deeper than that. Control is deeper than the content. Control is when things happen and you let them happen, and you don't let the worry drive you into a spiral of anxiety and kind of listlessness. You know, you roll with the air, you roll with the space, you roll with the forgetfulness, you roll with the distraction, and what you find is that your focus gets stronger, and you can keep your focus in tune and have more control over it once you get over the unwelcome space and forgetfulness. So I hope this helps. Thanks.